Even in a case where the disease has great lethality, people should be free in a free society to choose whether they want death. As soon as you take away the right and the freedom to make an irrational decision, you are a slave. You are no longer a free agent, you are a slave. You must do what the government says. My name is Peter McLaughlin. I grew up on the Northern Beaches in Sydney. I went to medical school at Sydney University, and after that I did post-university training and work at the Hornsby and Coringa Hospital in Sydney. And then after that, of all things, I went to live in Johannesburg in South Africa for 4 years. It was originally going to be 1 year, but it became 4 years. There I studied anaesthesia and got qualifications in anaesthesia. And I also studied obstetrics and got my diploma in midwifery. And then I got back to Sydney and I was looking for a job, and I ended up in Perth. And I settled here in Perth, met my wife, and lived in Perth. I've worked as an anaesthetist for just short of 40 years. I retired 2 years ago, and my wife and I were about to do all the travelling after retirement when COVID hit, and that's put all our plans on hold for the time being. From a doctor's point of view, in terms of what's happened with COVID, I've always been interested in physiology and more particularly in immunology. In fact, I lectured in immunology at Royal Perth Hospital and the young doctors training in anaesthesia. And so I was very interested to see the government's response to COVID, and I was very unhappy with the way that they ran their response to COVID.
What do you think of the vaccine mandates here, especially in Western Australia?
I've been very disappointed in the vaccine mandates. It flies in the face of the science. Science tells you that the vaccinations, as they're currently produced, protect the person who gets the vaccine from the severity of the disease, which is a good thing. What they don't do, though, is stop you getting the disease in some form or another, and they don't stop you spreading the disease. So the idea that we should discriminate against people who, for whatever reason, have chosen not to be vaccinated, on the basis that somehow those people are going to be more of a danger to others in the community than people who have chosen to be vaccinated, is just nonsense. It's just absolute nonsense. So the government, clearly in introducing vaccine mandates, seems to have another agenda in play rather than the protect people mantra that goes behind the vaccine mandates. So I strongly believe that they are scientific nonsense. They're being used as a political weapon.
As people, over the last however many years, we've worked so hard to get rid of racism and sexism. So living in this period we're in right now, where people are being divided, whether they've had a jab or not had a jab, that to me is absolutely, it's as simple as saying, you can't come in here because your skin is different to mine. It's just absolutely wrong. Fear is incredibly powerful, okay? Whether it's a fear of losing your job or not being able to see your kids. I mean, there's a massive thing that's being used that people aren't even talking about.
It's the old belief. It's the best way to control a community, our civilization, is keep them in fear. You know, we're always in fear for something.
Government hyped up the fear, the danger, the real danger, but they hyped up the level of danger to the point where 90-year-olds were afraid to come out of their house, and people were falling over themselves to give governments extra powers to be able to apply to everybody.
We will be kept in this tight grip of confusion, continuously shifting goalposts and fear, continuously shifting situations, like I said, mask on, mask off, you can't go here, you can't go there, until we get to a point where we will demand a result. And the result will automatically be there, and we will get it, and it'll be exactly what was always wanted to be introduced in the first place.
If the government would have taken the initiative to state all the side effects from the beginning that they know of, but they haven't, and we've just had to find out about these things as they've gone along with the pericarditis and Guillain-Barré. Like, lots of people are having strokes. There's the risk versus sort of the benefit of this vaccine is, I think, is diabolical.
You know, doctors who can't speak to me, off the record, Gavin, but on the record, that. You know, thousands of health professionals leaving their profession. There was a good point I read on recently was all the people leaving their profession in the health have got morals, they've got something behind them that says, I'm not going to be part of this. And thousands of those people are leaving the profession. And what's left in that profession are people that are going, look, I'll go along with this because I need my job. And I understand that. I understand people need their jobs. I get that.
People have health problems that might actually not correlate really well with some of these injections, right? They've got that right to make that decision. When they speak to their doctor and the doctor gives them honest advice, then they've got that right.
They well know that this is giving people clotting disorders and what have you, but people that have predisposition or genetic history to clotting disorders are still being made to have it. So it's none of it's fitting together.
Do you believe that mandating vaccination is something that a government should be able to do in any circumstances?
No. Basically, no is the answer to that question. It's great that the government makes the vaccine available for those people who want it. Even in a case where the disease has great lethality, people should be free in a free society to choose whether they want death. So if there's a disease out there that has a 99% mortality and people choose not to be vaccinated when it's almost certain that they're going to get the disease and they're going to die from the disease, and while the rest of us may look on that decision as irrational and illogical, provided they are of sound mind, we have the freedom to make decisions that other people might regard as irrational. As soon as you take away the right and the freedom to make an irrational decision, you are a slave. You are no longer a free agent, you are a slave. You must do what the government says.
There ain't been anything in history that people have been forced into that's been good for them. So why are we being forced into this? And coercion is not consent.
The mandates they're taking away people's choice, because I know that they're saying that it is still a choice, and obviously I've made that choice for me, but it's not really a choice if I was a single parent or if I didn't have another profession to lean on, or you're taking away people's livelihood. And I think what will become endemic will be mental health issues through all of this. I think it's cruel what they're doing to people, and that they can take away people's livelihood and ability to make a personal choice for their own body.
Go, just get yourself some history books. See what's been done in history. This has all been done before. Now, I don't want to go, and I know people go, oh, no, he's going down that line. I'm just saying, controlling a population is generally not good for human beings. It's not good for humanity.
They clearly saw some political advantage in going down this path. They created a them and us of the vaccinated and the unvaccinated.
A mandate is something that we, the people, should be doing to the government. It's not the other way around. We should be questioning them. That we should be making them do something. That is what a mandate is by definition. It's not the other way around. People are confused.